Welcome back, everybody, to the Zelda Religionist. And today, I'm going to talk about the concept of a closed open world. What I mean by that is, at some point, we got the knowledge that the Breath of the Wild sequel will take place in the same Hyrule, as we've seen in the trailer, but it might be a little bit more closed off, as in, might be a little bit more straightforward, more linear, as previous Zelda titles. I've heard a few people talk about it, but we don't know the exact reasoning at this current moment of filming this video. But I have a couple theories that might explain why this vast open world is now more closed off. So getting right into it. Yes, in Breath of the Wild 1, it was extremely open and full of exploration. And I loved every minute of that. But there were some parts that wasn't really closed off to you, but you had to work on opening up. As in, they was covered in malice or calamity or mobbling camps, I don't know. There's some parts you had to kind of work to open up to fully explore. You could get in there, but some parts might be closed off to you because you had to shoot certain parts of malice and clear it off and such. So what if they expand on that in the sequel? What if when the game starts, it takes place about maybe a year after the events of Breath of the Wild 1, and they've been able to rebuild a lot of the villages and ruins and get people back to living a normal life that may have lost any sense of a normal life when Calamity Ganon rose again. So all those burnt, ruined villages that you passed by on horseback in Breath of the Wild 1 are now rebuilt and fully thriving villages. Most of the important ruins of towers and temples and such have been rebuilt, and they're still working on rebuilding most of the other ones that they haven't got to yet. And the world is building itself back up. But then the events of the plot happen, whatever they're going to be. We know Ganondorf is involved, at least his corpse is, and he's coming back. There's a glowing hand holding him down, or sucking his energy, or trying to pull malice out of him, or trying to put malice into him. I don't know what's going to happen yet. But the thing to know is, there's going to be a plot that kicks off sometime in the beginning of the game. As with any video game ever. But up to that point, before the plot happens, the overworld of Hyrule is fully open world, as it once was in Breath of the Wild 1. But once the plot happens, and Ganondorf comes back, or the malice spreads back out into the world somehow, whatever's going to happen, happens. Maybe Zelda gets taken, maybe Zelda dies, maybe Link and Zelda get separated somehow in that cave, and then you have to go try to find her. So you're in the cave, and you're trying to find any trace of her to get back up with her, trying to avoid the newly spread malice that's everywhere in this cave, and Ganondorf's body just draped over a pillar. Let's say you do find Zelda in the cave, and then you both try to get out of there before anything else happens. Now, if some of the talk is true, there's speculation that that cave is under Hyrule Castle, deep beneath Hyrule Castle. So you're making your way back up to the surface, or into the interior of Hyrule Castle. But once you make it out of the cave, the ground starts rumbling, as it does, and Link and Zelda continue to try to get away from whatever's happening. Once they're outside in the world, right away they can see some more malice has popped up in certain places, like close to them. And they make it out of the castle, if that cave is under the castle, or that cave's exit is close to the castle. Whichever way, they're in front or close to Hyrule Castle, out in the world, and then the ground continues to rumble. They look behind them, or they look towards the castle, and it's starting to rise up out of the ground as it does in the trailer. And then once it's fully out of the ground and in the air, more malice just starts like spreading out and shooting everywhere, and starting to cover the land of Hyrule once again in this malice that we dealt with in the first game. So, what was once this vast open world, there's now parts of it that's cut off due to malice, and you have to work around that, or somehow destroy it again, to explore a certain area. That's probably what they'll do. That's just my personal guess. Apparently that's also how I think the beginning of the game is going to go. So Link and Zelda now must find a way to restore Hyrule Castle to the ground, and take out Ganondorf that's now standing on top of Hyrule Castle outside laughing and shaking his butt at him mockingly. So Zelda heads off with you as Link to try to take out this puddle of malice, take out this pile of malice. Oh, there's a giant mountain of malice over there. Better take care of that. So Link and Zelda go on their journey, restoring, again, the land to its full explorability. Or they might do something totally different. I don't know yet. We have no new info, and the game's not out. But hopefully soon enough we'll know something. I want to know a little bit of a story element in a trailer. I want to see Ganondorf in his full human form in the trailer. Maybe, I don't know yet. It would be cool if they didn't show that in the trailer, but at the same time, I want to see what he looks like so damn bad. But at this current moment, that's the only idea that I have that they would do to have the world closed off to you, even though it was previously fully open. That'd be about the best thing they could do, because it would get the story going, and it wouldn't just be, yeah, we know you had this full open world the last time, but now it's closed off and you gotta explore it in a linear path because of blah 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 reasons, and we're just changing it up. Doing it that way would be stupid. Doing it the way I explained, or any way that would just involve the story, and having it due to like malice or whatever, or Ganondorf like destroys certain areas of the map, and then you had to like try to find a way to cross back into them or something like that. I think it could work. I actually don't mind the concept of a closed open world in Breath of the Wild sequel, even though in the first one it was fully explorable. If it's done right, I wouldn't mind. So hopefully soon we'll see something, anything, I don't care what. It could be a picture of something that's coming in Breath of the Wild 2. And I'll be satisfied because it's something new that I could look at and think about while waiting on the game. So hopefully it comes out this year. There's talk about it coming out this year for 2020. There's also talk about it being in 2021, as long as it doesn't get delayed 5 times. So I guess we're just going to find out. But until the next time, my friends, I've been the Zelda Religionist. Thank you for tuning in, and y'all take care.